Oh, I said up. Yo. So, first of all, I want to say shout out to my nigga Black Pegasus. He reacted to my Samson response, and I heard part of it. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch the whole thing, but it was some stuff that I wanted to like touch on. Pause. It was some stuff that I wanted to touch on that it wouldn't make sense to do it in the comment section. So I was like, fuck it. This is meta as fuck. I'll make a video about the nigga making a video about the song. But yo, shout out to that nigga because either way, I said this. I feel like more reactors should probably do this. If y'all are on that, both sides of the story, have a debate thing. I think this would be actually a good idea or a good way to do this musically. Y'all can play Samson's bullshit, and then y'all can play my dope shit, and then, you know what I'm saying, that could be like a lyrical debate or whatever, you know what I'm saying. I think that'd be dope if niggas pick that shit up, but who knows. But yo, I'm gonna see what bro talking about. I may or may not skip through some of like my music, the rapping, and just go to the talking points. Because the song is on my channel right now. Go listen to it. It's called Tell No Lies. This shit is fire. But yo, let's see what my nigga talking about.
This is King DOTTA, Tell No Lies. Yo, if you don't know who I am, I'm Black Pegasus. Yo, like, share, comment, describe. Link in the description of my other channels.
Points. Get to some of his talking points.
Support that loser than loser too. Just off statistics alone.
This is crazy what music is, dog. Yo, straight up, because I'm actually grooving to this. Like, anyways, let's get to the music first, then we'll get to the subject matter, right? Because there's, I have to give him some pushback. I see things differently in the world, right? So I got to give him some pushback on some of these lyrics. But the music, man, like, he picked a dope beat, and his approach is different than Samson's. Samson went incredible with his word scheming. So he was using these intricate internal rhyme schemes and setting up these punchlines with like a somewhat complex subject matter.
And see, look, and there's a reason why I didn't take that approach, the lyrical miracle, the complex rhyme schemes and all this other shit. Like, people take that like as, oh, well, he did that and you didn't, so that means he's better than you. Like, no, bro. It's just, I feel like that shit distracts you from what I'm trying to tell you. Like, my point isn't to show you lyrical gymnastics. My point, that's not what the point of the song was. The point was to make a point. To tell you, like, straight up, having a, like, if I'm sitting there having a conversation with you, I'm not about to throw out a whole bunch of metaphors and different like shit. Like, I'm just gonna talk to you. I'm gonna try to get you to understand what I'm saying. But also, while doing that, lyrically, I still have to show you skills, because it's not, you're not an MC if you can't actually fucking rap. You know what I'm saying? But all of that, the lyrical miracle shit, that's, to me, that's not a metric to gauge whether or not somebody is dope or not. Because I have songs where I do that. But that's because that was the point of the song. Niggas, people that do that shit like Samson do, that do it all the time, they do that shit as a crutch because they don't have anything to talk about. So, all right, let's go.
Matter telling a story, which is super fire. King DOTTA's taking a totally different approach. He's making a song. So he's dissing Samson, but he's also getting into political content and dissing Charlie Kirk while taking the approach of turning it into a song.
Is it really a diss though? I don't really think I dissed Charlie Kirk. I just didn't do what everybody else is doing. I spoke my opinion of that nigga. I didn't, you know what I'm saying?
Song, like, and that's the thing I noticed King DOTTA does really well, is he's a songwriter. And he's able to incorporate that in this in these battles, like when he's going after people, because this is one thing that I noticed, like he gets after people. So that's where we're at right here. But musically, I actually think the hook is actually catchy. It kind of draws me in. I don't know if that's him singing or like a home.
It is me singing in the background. I could have made it sound better, the singing, but so what happened is when I was recording that part of it, that was going to be the hook. There was going to be no rapping or talking or anything over there. It was just going to be that. And when I did it, I was like, it sounds empty as hell. So did I turn the vocals? I had them stacked. I had different notes, different you know what I'm saying? What is it? Different tones, different you know what I'm saying? And I cut all of them off except for one. And I lowered it. Like, I lowered the volume real low and just did my thing over that. So it sounded better before, but when it was just that, you know what I'm saying, I tweaked it.
But I think it draws me in, but I really like the beat. It's just laid back. It's funny because the lyrics are way more aggressive than the actual beat.
I can feel
that necrophiliac bar, that's actually a bar. Like, that's a bar. Even though it's hella disrespectful. Like, if I'm just keeping the buck, that's hella crazy. Right? But let's get into these lyrics and some of the subject matter here. Where did you start spitting? I think right around here.
Who ain't make it? Devil's hard at work. But no, I'm not religious. But you celebrating bitches and label them as prestigious.
So he's going back because I believe at the beginning of Samson's song, he's just talking about, you know, R.I.P. Charlie Kirk, and then he goes, the devil's hard at work. And then and it's funny because he's like, I'm not religious, but I'm just going to keep it real. I'm religious. I'm Christian straight up. So, you know, like, this is why.
I'm not religious at all. Stay woke, y'all. You got to stay woke, man. I woke up, bro.
Lean politically the way I lean, not because I believe in politics or the right or the left, because they both do injustice to the people in general. But the right steers more to traditionalism, right? And I'm more of a traditional person. That's just the truth. And anyone with Christian values knows that some things on the docket for the Democratic Party goes legitly against Christian values.
Now, I am not religious or any of that. But to me, again, you can link that up, that same ideology, you can link that up with why, you know, Charlie said he would let his 10-year-old have a baby after she was assaulted. You know, it's, to me, like, it's like, yo, because of this, it's either I can't allow this, and I feel like it's weird only when you just talking about other people's decisions and life choices, because he didn't say it specifically, but I'd assume he's talking about like trans shit and or LGBT shit and all of that shit, and because, you know, people that are like really Christian are like really against that or whatever. But see, again, like I say, I'm not religious, so I don't give a fuck what nobody else do. What they motherfucker, as long as they shit ain't bothering me or mine, or the shit that I care about, then I could give a fly fuck who you choose, with hair color you choose. I don't give a fuck what you identify yourself as. Like, that's nothing to do. What you eat don't make me shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why I sit a little bit more in the middle. I don't really consider myself like left. You know what I'm saying? Because it's some shit that I do like disagree and agree with, like, you know, it should be like born men and born men sports and born women and born. I feel like that, but like as far as like a lot of the other like real deep rooted hated shit like people got, like, bro, no, leave these people alone.
But then again, for example, my father like votes Democrat, like that's his thing, and he's like, that's why I'm like, bro, my parents were crazy Christian, playing gospel music, da 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 da. And he's still going to vote Democrat, even though there's mad stuff that when I ask him, I'm like, hey, you don't agree with this. And I'm like, they pushed this, though. And he never really has an answer. Anyways, that's a whole nother story for another.
But who cares, though? Like, who cares? Like the most, like, this is what I don't understand. I feel like if you are a Christian, literally the most Christian thing you can possibly do is let people be them. Like, that's literally the most, I feel like, why not? Like, who is it hurting? You know?
The day, let's keep this moving. I'm just saying I'm religious, so like if I do have a bias, I'm just keeping it a buck. Like, that's just what it is.
You can't fathom the grief, had to be an act. Deal with it for 4 centuries, then see how you'd react.
Yeah.
You wrote 5 intros and stuck with the trash. Took me 20 minutes just to get you stuffed in a bag.
So he's basically saying, took me 20 minutes to make this song.
Well, and also, that was a bar. I said, you said it took you 5. Hold on, let me go back. Hold on. Let me go back.
You wrote 5 intros and stuck with the trash. Took me 20 minutes. You can't fathom the grief.
Okay, yeah.
Had to be an act. Deal with it for 4 centuries, then see how you'd react. You wrote 5 intros and stuck with the trash. Took me 20 minutes just to get you stuffed in a bag.
5 times 4, 20, 400, then 5, and then 20. That was I didn't expect nobody to get that. That was just.
So he's basically saying, took me 20 minutes to make this song. The intro you wrote for your song Tipping Point is trash. So he's getting at him as a lyricist, but then he puts the social awareness. You're grieving over Charlie Kirk, but we're grieving over 400 years of, slavery, racism, historic things. This is what I would challenge King DOTTA with, though, because I always push back on these concepts and I'm not big broing King DOTTA. Like, I'm just gonna keep it above.
That's what we're here for.
I thought very similar. And as I've gotten older, I see things a little bit differently. And my question is this. Would our ancestors want us to toil in the pain, the hardship, the death that they toiled in or had to live through? Or would they want us to take advantage of what they prepared for us, right?
So look, here,
like our ancestors, and this goes for, like, this is what's crazy. Like, the black plight in America is different than other plights, but all of us have a plight related to our lineage, our genetics, our culture, all these different things. Like, we all, like, there's struggle within all of our bloodlines at some capacity. And so there's this thing that goes on in society where people will be like, well, my struggle is worse. Well, I'm broke. Well, I came from this. I came from a war-torn country. And it's like this whole thing. But my mentality, when I became successful, I had to change the way I viewed things. I have to look at this. My ancestors, right? And I'm mixed, right? So, a lot of different things going on. But my dad is black, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm connected to my culture growing up, seeing all the things I've seen. So would my ancestors that died for all, went through all these things, would they want me to focus? What would they want me to focus on, right? Because their death and the struggle they went through, even some of the things my father went through in the military, he had to face some things. We talk about it. I've talked about it on this channel. And they went through all that so that you could sit at the table with advantages. So we're in this time frame where certain people, and when I say people, I'm not talking about black people, because what I've noticed, it's also a generational thing. The generation will be like, yo, I'm entitled to, let's say, lower interest rates. I'm entitled to this. I don't want to lose my train of thought here. But what I'm trying to say is, would our ancestors want us to take advantage of what they went through, or not advantage of what they want, but take advantage of what has come from all the pain and struggle and hardship they went through, right?
Okay, now, I would, all right, because he said it a few times, and I want to touch on this. Pause. That is a great mindset to have, to be like, yo, let's not focus on what we went through, the bullshit that they went through. Let's focus on what we doing now. That's beautiful. It's a beautiful, fantasy, because the reality is that we still day to day deal with systemic racism. I think the issue is that people feel like it's only racist if it's directed at your face. It's only racist if you see this nigga in a fucking Klan hood. It's only racist if you hear them calling you the N-word and all of this shit. Like, no, like it's 2025, bro. The racists have different uniforms on, bro. The racists are working with you. The racists are the ones that are at your, these same motherfuckers that'll get online and talk that shit to you in the comment section. They going and working with black people at Walmart. They going to fry some motherfucking chicken at KFC with some high school niggas. Like, and because the racism is in the approach that's in the system, bro. There was a study, and I don't remember the exact numbers. There was a study that was done that showed that white males with a felony had better chances of getting jobs than black males without a felony. That's wild. The fact that there are jobs that will require, there are places that I can't work because of this, because of how I choose to have my hair. Now, you can't have your hair like that. But little Cindy with the long golden locks can rock her shit all through the goddamn office with no problem. It's shit like that. The microaggressions. Going across the street when you see niggas coming. Like, all of that shit, that's racism, bro. It's not, it hasn't gone away. It disguised itself. Kanye told you racism's still alive. They just be concealing it.
They didn't go through the civil rights movement for nothing. They didn't die. They weren't just whipped. They weren't picking cotton. They didn't do all these things. They didn't rise above the nonsense for nothing. They didn't, entertainers having to use different fountains and different bathrooms, but, have the same draw as their counterparts. Athletes going through all these different things. They didn't do that. So we could sit here at a table and finally be at a place where we could take advantage and have privileges because they built that for us, right?
But no, they didn't build anything. The tables that y'all are still trying to get people to come to are still the tables that were built by the motherfuckers who benefited from slavery that built this country. At that, like, just like I said, bro, what point is it if when I come to this table, my chances are now diminished because I have a black sounding name? Like, what are we saying, bro? Like, why are we acting like this shit doesn't exist? Why are we acting like systemic racism is really just a myth? It's not a myth. Like, do you know how I can count on one hand? It ain't a lot, but I can count on one hand how many times I have been literally tossed in the back of a police car for doing nothing. Nothing. The very first time it happened, I'm on 28th. It's in East Side OKC. I'm coming from the corner store. I have a fucking fountain drink and a pack of Swishers. That's it. Coming from the corner store, listening to my earbuds, walking down the block. These niggas hit they lights, come fucking with me, cuff me. You're being detained. For what? You're under investigation. For what? Then they start checking me for gang tats. What's your nicknames? What's your hood names? Because I walked, bro. The same thing happened to me again in front of the Red Dog in OKC. Walking from the corner store. Doing nothing. Minding my fucking business. Why did I end up in the back of a police car, bro? To act like, and I feel like the problem is people use their lived experiences as a fact. And that's what's fucked up, because if you don't have certain lived experiences, you're not going to see the truth. Just because certain shit has never happened to you doesn't mean it's not out here happening. The system is still built to keep niggas down. Period. So once we address that and stop acting like, oh, the problem isn't the system, the problem is niggas not taking advantage of it. Niggas worried about the past. That's not what the problem is. We have to kill that shit because y'all are being disingenuous when you say shit like that. Because you know that the system is made for niggas to fail. You said it your motherfucking self about entertainers drinking like, bro, we had chart-topping artists while niggas was still getting sprayed with hoses. So you saying that, you know what I'm saying, like, oh, we have these opportunities now and all of that. Like, bro, black people was famous. We had famous, Aretha Franklin was popping during the civil rights era. What are we saying, bro? Niggas was still getting sprayed down and hunted and all kind of other shit while there were successful black people. So we can't use that as a, oh, well, shit, the system ain't all bad. Look, this niggas is making millions. This niggas making money. Like, that's disingenuous, bro.
Now, I get it, generational wealth and trickle-down economics didn't funnel through the black community.
We
in
never
America
got
the
our
same
40
way it
acres and a
did
mule either.
in
Where
other
that at?
sections of America through different communities. But it did trickle down in some capacity because there were rich black folks in America as well. So it's just a complicated subject just to say, yo, 400 years. Well, I look at it like this. Our ancestors went through all these things. So we are at a place in America where America, the concept of America has created the most black millionaires, the most black billionaires, the most black middle class, and the most impactful black voices in the world.
And that means what? Y'all do understand. Listen to me. Just like proximity to black people does not mean you are not racist. Just because there are successful black people doesn't mean that this country isn't racist. You do know that they are still entertained by niggas. Why do you think most black people think the route they got to go is the entertainment route? Because that's been instilled in niggas for how long? Get up there and dance, boy. Like, what are we saying, bro? That doesn't mean nothing.
I'm going to say it again. I want to challenge people to realize not the America they want. So people want a different America. They're saying this America is bad. We want a different America. This America that we say is bad has created the most black millionaires, black billionaires, black middle class, and created the most impactful black voices in the world, right? There's rappers like Snoop Dogg who are more well-known internationally than Nelson Mandela.
And again, because people like entertainment. You're naming entertainers, bro. Slaves was used as entertainment, bro. It's just now they got to pay them.
Barack Obama was the president. There's just all these nuances to America that if we tear down there's not a promise that what's at the end of the road is better.
Hey, and that Barack Obama thing, hey, if you've noticed that before Obama was president, y'all remember when it was taboo to talk about either politics or religion? If y'all notice, y'all go look at it. I ain't about to do all the extra shit. Around the time Obama became president, people started getting real vocal about their goddamn religion and their politics for some reason. I don't know. You call that a coincidence if you want.
If we tear it down, there's not a promise that what's at the end of the road is better, even though you may think that. So, anyways, connecting 400 years to people grieving over Charlie Kirk, I just think we have to view things differently, right?
But we can't, though, because Charlie Kirk is an isolated incident. Charlie Kirk is not the typical. The typical is innocent niggas. Regardless of how you feel about George Floyd, he died an innocent man. You are innocent until proven guilty. He didn't see due process. He was killed in the field. He died innocent. This isn't a thing that just really happens, bro, for the other side. So that's why I think that whole, y'all rioted and we didn't. Of course we rioted, nigga, because it's been going on for fucking ever. Y'all new to this. You ain't got shit to say. Fuck you gonna be mad about? It was motherfuckers like y'all that was doing it to us for how fucking long? Join the club, nigga.
But let's get into this. I think a person should grieve over someone passing away in an inhumane fashion, period. Right? When George Floyd first passed away, I think everyone was in agreement. This is effed up. Then more things came out. It was like, oh, he was on that Fetty. He was this, that, the other. And people made their own decisions.
Who cares? Who cares? My thing is like it doesn't make any sense, bro. We gotta have a better handle on type shit. We gotta have a better handle on type shit because whatever George Floyd was on had nothing to do with anybody else but him. But again, that's not what killed him. He didn't have an overdose. I don't know. I really want to know where people got that from. I would love to know where people got that from. Because the official medical examiner said he died from neck compression. The official. The person whose job it is. The matter of fact, the only person that you can get the information from on what happened told y'all what happened. Why are people telling other people that's not what happened? I don't get, and that again, how was that not microaggression? That shit is racism, bro. Oh, when it comes to him, y'all don't give a fuck about what the medical examiner say. Oh nah, that's some bullshit. It was drugs. He OD'd. How the fuck do you know? You're not a professional in anything. I'm not talking to BP. I'm just saying in general. Like, niggas is not professionals in anything. I'm gonna listen to the professional. 2 tests, 2 of them. The official one and the independent one done by the family both came to the same exact conclusion. He was murdered, an innocent man. But yet it's okay for motherfuckers to make them memes. Oh, it's been 5 years since he's been 5 years sober. Ooh, I bet you fucked your cousin too. Like, that shit wild, bro.
I still personally think it's distasteful to spit on the grave of people. But we're also in the era where rappers their op will get clapped and then they go do a music video literally pissing on their grave. So we're just,
I mean, that's understandable though.
But I think it's distasteful to shit on Charlie Kirk, just like I think it's distasteful to shit on people, you know, after they're gone in general, right? But let me hear this out.
You feel obligated, well, niggas, so do I, to speak for people who express how they feel when that evil die. You not much of a thinker.
They keep calling Charlie Kirk evil. I'll address that more in this, because I want to hear more of what he's saying. But they say he's evil and racist, and we have to address that in this reaction. But let's listen. I want to hear King DOTTA out.
Just off statistics alone, 71% chance he couldn't get in my home.
That line was important, you know, 71%, because, you know, they like to throw out stats about, you know, black people and all the time. So the meaning behind that 71% is that 71% of reported essays or CPs, if y'all watch the poachers, you know what I'm talking about, are white males. 71%, 29% of the population though. White males take up 29% of the population and are doing 71% of the physical and psychological damage to our country's children. I think that's some important shit that people should talk about instead of worrying about who the fuck is mad about Charlie Kirk or not.
One condoned public execution, nigga wildin'. The other went to jail, but none of it was violent.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. So we gonna talk about a bunch of things here, but let's talk about the raps, because he's rapping, you know? And yo, Samson was rapping, like his internal words scheme. So shout out to Samson. But right now we like this whole I'm calling Cap that's a crazy bar. Like if we're just keeping it a buck, yo. So Colin Kaepernick, but I'm calling Cap, like, you know, in the rap world, Cap, you lying, you know, but Colin. So flipping his name as Colin Kaepernick and then like I'm calling you Colin Cap is crazy. Like that stood out to me. There's some more bars in there, but that's the highlight. So Necrophiliac and Colin Cap is a highlight bar, and he's just throwing them in there like a little like oh, this ain't nothing. Now again, I actually like the hook. I do think so as I'm listening to the melody's right. I think it could have been tightened up just a little bit, but I don't know if it's him singing it or someone else. You know what I'm saying? But it is catchy. And
'Twas me.
Took the approaches. I'm gonna make a song verse. I'm just gonna spit a long verse, like, you know, like when me and him battled. That's kind of what I did. I was just spitting these long ass verses. So you know. But anyways, let's get into the lyrics though. There's some things, man, and I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Like I push back on this stuff because if we gonna call everyone a racist, dog, what's the definition of racist?
We're not calling everybody racist. We only calling racist. That's it.
Right? Because just having different ideas or being an asshole doesn't make you a racist, dog.
That's true.
Up. Like for me, being a racist is having a hatred for another people and believing those people are inferior to you or your people.
Charlie Kirk.
That is in my opinion, like just off the top of the dome, that's the definition of racism. Like this.
So if that is your definition of it, what is it when if that's not somebody thinking somebody is inferior, then I'm just going to use one of his famous points, the black pilot. What is the point of that? What was the point of him constantly talking about, oh, if it was a black pilot? And don't say DEI, because there are other races. There are other races. So don't say DEI as a reason, because even if it is DEI as the reasoning, that's a stupid-ass reason. And I'm going to tell you why. So, did you know that there have been 0 commercial airline crashes caused by black pilots? Did you know that? You probably didn't know that. So, with that being the case, with DEI being a thing, what that says to me is that whether these black pilots are DEI hires or not, they're still doing better than the ones who are not DEI hires, because it's everybody else that's crashing the airplanes. So to specifically point out and say, yo, I would doubt if that pilot is qualified. And he didn't say because of DEI, he said that black pilot. That means he brought race into it. The reason he brought race into it is because he's a racist. The reason why he said that he would wonder if this black person is qualified is because he sees black people as inferior. So, brother, BP, by your definition, you think Charlie Kirk is racist.
Internal hate for another group of people because of the way they look, and then internalizing that your race or your people or you are better than those people and superior. So when we start saying these things, like, we have to be able to back that up. I think
I did a good job.
Racist is used so loosely. When there is a real racist, we need to call them out. But if we call everyone a racist, it just doesn't have that potent.
And see, here's the thing. And here's the thing about that. And people are saying, okay, you calling everybody racist, everything. Are y'all not paying attention to the climate of this motherfucking country socially, bro? Racists are extremely comfortable right now. The rise of racist content creators, white people who are going viral and making their whole thing about just them saying the N-word or talking shit about black people. Are y'all honestly not noticing the rise in this shit? So if you saying that the word is watered down, no. It's just a lot of racism going on right now. It's a lot more people who are way more comfortable talking that shit, because they know that they're going to get defended for it, either a freedom of speech or this denial. This is the new thing they got going on, the denial aspect of it. Oh, that's not racist. Like, bro, Charlie Kirk died, right? When people die, if you are not a racist, then there is 0 conversation around your name about you being racist, period. The fact that there is even any, and it's not just any, it's a lot of conversation about how this man is racist from black people and from white people. And that doesn't lead you to be like, maybe I'm not seeing this the way that I should be seeing this, because you're missing the point. If you don't see the way that this man talked as racist, bro, I don't know what to tell you. There's no way to help you on that. If you don't see the simplest shit, if I grill you some chicken and I hand you this chicken and you eat this chicken and I say, hey, bro, you know that's chicken? And you say, no, it ain't. This is beef. I'm not going to argue with you, bro, because it's really pointless. Like, real shit. Like, it's either you're blind to it or you just really don't know. And I can't help you on that, because it's textbook racism. It's textbook racism. My mama had no idea who Charlie Kirk was. She never saw him, heard him, talked to him, or about him, none of that. I said, after he died, I said, go look him up. 10 minutes later, she got a response. I got a response. I couldn't watch 5 minutes of this man's video. He's a fucking idiot. It's not people making up shit. And context ain't saving it. I'm sorry. Y'all can use that word. That's the word. That's what's watered down. The fucking word context. Y'all watered that deep. Not speaking to you, BP, specifically, because I don't know if you use that yet. But yeah, the motherfuckers that use context, boy, y'all running that shit into the ground.
And see no more. And that's where I think we're at. So I'm just, That's just how my brain works.
Just off statistics alone, 71% chance he couldn't get in my home. Y'all lit candles, you talking home decor. You blew up Black Wall Street before they blew up a store and never paid for it. So what song do you got to say for it? Want that Kirk clout and he chose to play safe for it.
So he's saying that Samson's rapping about Charlie Kirk for clout, and he's also saying that Samson's a racist. I would push back on that. I haven't seen anything.
I didn't say. Okay, let me clarify that. I said racist talking points and disrespecting hip hop. I didn't say he was racist. It's definitely ignorant though, and definitely has no business making any hip hop music or calling it that, because you're disrespectful to the culture. So that's off top. I would never call Samson a rapper. I would never call this nigga hip hop. He's not. I don't know what the fuck you would call this nigga a jib. We're gonna call the nigga a gibbler. That's what he is. He gibbles. He doesn't even rap. He's a gibbler. That's what he is. From now on, y'all motherfuckers, y'all Tom McDonald gibblers. Adam Calhoun, y'all niggas is gibblers. Y'all can't even be rappers. Don't y'all gibble. That's what the fuck that is. I'm gonna say that so many times because I want that to stick in my mind. Fucking gibbler ass niggas.
From my aspect where Samson thinks that, black people or people that don't look like him are lesser than him, that's just my observation.
And I also think that you having that specific definition of racism is what's hindering you from identifying actual racism, because it's not always going to be just that. It's not always going to be just, I think you are inferior, or none of that. Because it's not even an inferiority thing, because historically we have seen white people envy black people all the fucking time. There are athleticism, artistry, all of that. It's literally it's copied. It's coveted. So I don't think that that's even true. You can't use the inferiority, because that's not where the racism lies. It doesn't just lie in, I think you're below me. Nah, bro. I think you're pigeonholing your idea of racism is why you're not seeing the racism.
Observation. I'm not here to argue that. I'm here to break this track down. We are not going to dodge the historical things that black folks went through in our country. And it's weird I say that like I ain't black. I'm not trying to reference it like that, but whatever. I'm just saying, like, historically, there is wild that has happened to black folks in America, and we all know that, and we need to acknowledge that. Now,
still happening.
Black Wall Street. That shit is foul, bro. Black folks started to utilize capitalism, which capitalism does work. And Black Wall Street is an example of capitalism working at the highest level. And because it was working so well, black community, black banks, doing all this stuff, starting to ball out, it was destroyed. So when people go on these crazy, frantic blah blahs about capitalism, let's just remember it does work when it's done properly. Simple form, it's just when markets compete and there's a winner. Now, typically at the top, when these winners are rigging it out of greed, right? And in this case, they blew up Black Wall Street and effed up the whole economic structure that was going on there. Now, this is where it gets complicated. At that time, it was Southern Democrats, right? The Dixies is what they called them,
Dixiecrats,
right? It was the Democratic Party who was in.
And for a lot of people that don't know, because I hear people that try to use that, and I might have to do a video on it because I can't give you like the specifics right now. But a lot of times people will say, "Oh well, y'all do know that black people, that the Republicans were the ones that wanted them free or whatever and all of that shit. It was the Democrats that was the case. Y'all do know that that was the right for that time. That was the right. The Dixiecrats, that was the right side then. I told people all the time it switched. And because it switched, we switched. And we wasn't going to stick with it. Like, look what it is now. Look what being a Republican is now. Being a Republican is basically, we're going to disrespect as many black people as we can publicly and get away with it because we know that that's the fan base that we have cultivated. Like, bro, listen, the way that I've never seen politicians get disrespected the way I see Jasmine Crockett get disrespected by politicians. People she's way more qualified than. Way more qualified, far more intelligent. But, I don't know.
Involved in the KKK, blowing up Black Wall Street. Fact check me. But that's what's wild about these conversations. The Republican Party was the first party to have black, Latin senators and congressmen. They were the first party to actually work with minorities. So it gets really tricky when you just start throwing things in the air and we're saying certain things, right? But I'm going to listen to more. The Black Wall Street, I get what he's saying. He's challenging Charlie Kirk's messaging that I believe was put out of context, because Charlie Kirk would have wild takes that I don't even agree with, right? Like the abortion take, I'm just like, bro, like I get it. I'm hardcore Christian. I don't believe in abortions, but I'm not going to say like if a girl got the R worded or incest that it's like I'm just not, like I'm not an absolutist in that fashion, right? Also with his civil rights take, I understood what he was saying, but I could understand how people wouldn't. Right? He's not saying the concept of civil rights was bad. People coming together, all of us working together is bad. Charlie Kirk never said that. He said that the outcome of it was prioritizing race than skill levels and merit. That's all he said.
But that was the entire point, because the reason for the civil rights movement was based on race. We was going through what we was going through because of race. So yeah, it should have focused on what it was supposed to focus on race. I don't get that. I don't get that point. Maybe I'm missing something.
He's saying skill and merit should always be valued more than what you look like. And I understand where that's coming from. But people take things and run with it, go different directions. So let me hear some more, because I do have another take on the racist concept. But
his flow boring. Samson knows he couldn't spit snot. Racist ass talking points and disrespecting hip hop. Oh, they was peaceful, screaming white man fight. Take that white man privilege, change that white man life. Speak facts, you want validation from MAGA. That's why your shit is whack, nigga.
I didn't even address the Colin Kaepernick stuff. Like, I'm just like, yo, we do have freedom of speech and expression. So I'm like, literally people fought and died in wars so Colin Kaepernick could kneel during the national anthem. I would never kneel during the national anthem. Now, there was a part in my life where I wanted to tear down America. Straight up. I remember being
I never stand or sing for the national anthem. When I was younger, my mama told us straight up, don't pledge allegiance to that flag. If your teacher got something to say about it, come holler at me. And we never did. I never got up, never pledged allegiance to the flag. She told us straight up when we was young, don't you ever pledge allegiance to no motherfucking country that continues to look at you like you ain't shit. And I said, got you.
For being at Nuggets games, they do the national anthem. I just sit down like, man, they trying to hold me back. Like, yo, blah, blah, I'm blah, blah, blah. But I also grew. And it was crazy because what happened was a bunch of my friends were in the military, because I live in a military town. My dad's 21 years in the Air Force, and they were coming home in body bags. And I realized at that moment that, the national anthem was just paying homage to them for, like there was, you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I can't, but I'm not going to act like I haven't sat through a national anthem before in my youth. Like I was wilding. So like I'm speaking from two different perspectives, from being like straight up, like I toured with Immortal Technique. I listened to Dead Prez. Like literally Dead Prez is promoting socialism. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I grew up. But I've changed because of life experience and seeing things and growing. And some people will appreciate that, some won't. But that's just my take on it. With Colin Kaepernick, I don't care that he did that. I understand why people thought it was distasteful. Also, in the name that he did it for brutality, for police brutality on black people. He talked about statistics, but when you dive into the statistics of black people being brutalized or killed by police, it is kind of crazy, because it's not like staggering numbers. Like you people, like I've seen these debates and these challenges. How many people, by the police last year, and it's like people think 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. It's just like this low ass number. It's like 15 in a year.
It should be zero. It should be zero. And I think the numbers, bro. I think the numbers is a problem that people also keep getting attached to, because like with the riots, the George Floyd shit, and all of that, none of those stores. Because what was it, Samson? It might have been Samson. I forgot this trash ass song that fast. But one of them talked about some goddamn a price for the damages. It is like, so, bro. Fuck that building. It's a fucking human life. What the fuck is you talking about? Fuck that building. Knock all that shit down. What the fuck are we talking about?
But like, this is also based off the premise we're also dealing with corrupt police departments at times, egotistical, power-driven police officers, and people are throwing the baby out with the bathwater because they have one bad interaction versus the whole system's interaction in general. Also, like, a lot of things have changed in policing. There's less police. There's more minority police. There's a lot of things going on. But those are complex subjects. I'm trying to do a rap reaction, and when you start talking politics, it just, for me.
I mean, but I feel like that's the point of the song, you know. But also, yeah, there's minority police and all of that shit. But you got to understand that they are still a part of a fucked up ass system. Like, y'all know that, bro. Listen, bro. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all some shit. I have a motherfucking family member that was married to a cop. One of the coolest niggas in the world. He wasn't with that weirdo shit. Wasn't with that weirdo shit at all. And he used to always talk about, bro, like the bullshit that go on in there and why he didn't say anything about what was going on. He like, bro, it's way deeper than you think. He said, bro, you being a cop, even reporting on, saying something. He said, bro, the snitch rules, that shit applies for the police as well. Did y'all know that? It's not just in the streets, snitches get stitched. No, police feel that way too. You don't tell on one of your fellow officers. This is what I was told by a cop. You don't tell on your fellow officers. Anything can happen. Not just you losing your job. You can lose your life behind shit like that. So, yeah, it's people in these systems and shit, but the system is fucked up. The system is corrupt, bro.
Minority police. There's a lot of things going on, but those are complex subjects. I'm trying to do a rap reaction, and when you start talking politics, it just, for me, it gets deeper because there's so much complexity that I didn't know even 6 years ago that I've learned that has made me change my stance and be just more nuanced with the conversation piece.
I said I promise I'ma keep that shit a buck. We fight for ours while they never gave a fuck. We fight for ours and they ain't never gave a fuck.
It's not a us versus them. I'm pushing back King DOTTA. You know, I'm doing.
While Samson literally said in his song, it's us versus them. Samson literally said in his song, it's us versus them.
In this reaction, because I think it's only right to hear both sides. And I think even in the past, I did him dirty in the sense of not hearing him out in his Knox Hill battle. So I think it's dope that I get to do this. This fit perfectly.
And that's why I fuck with him. This is off subject, but on subject. That means because he brought it up or whatever. But yeah, that shit had me hot. A lot of niggas did that shit, bro. A lot of people did that shit. Played half of the battle and just called that shit. Didn't even let me get my rebuttal in. Cliff did it. L-Boy did it. Singer Reacts did it. Flawed did it. Like, I didn't get none of my reaction, my shit in. And then that was another reason why it's so wild to me that people be agreeing with the Charlie Kirk shit. Like, Stevie Knight did it too. I don't know if I said his name. Stevie Knight did it. That nigga did that shit too. But yeah, but I respect the fact that he, you know what I'm saying, at least spoke on that shit. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's always time for you to, you know what I'm saying, review the battle again, and you know, it's completion. You know, that's all I'm saying.
Because on this channel we talk about stuff like this, but I'm gonna just keep it a buck. It's not us versus them. You know, we fight for ours But to get to where we were at, to even get through the civil rights movement, you can go back and look at the picture. It's literally white folks interlocking their arms with black folks, walking into these crazy protests where everyone was getting sprayed down with water and dogs sicked on them.
But see, those are what you call allies, though. That's what the problem. See, that's another thing, bro. Because you're talking about the race. You're talking about the race. There are important white people to the civil rights movement, but the other ones, the ones that wasn't down for that shit, that's the them. That's the us versus them. It's not the white versus the black. It's the racist against the ones who's not racist. Like, that's literally what it's always been. And now it's taking its form in Democrat, Republican, left, right. Like, bro, as much shit as people throw at people on the left side for what they do, oh, they weird, mental health, all of this other shit that y'all throw, you never get to throw racist. Y'all, they don't never throw that. Why? The people that get called racist, bro, people what they say about Whitney Houston, they ain't gonna call you a crackhead for 20 years and you not a crackhead. I'm fucking sorry, nigga. They not gonna keep telling you niggas is racist and you're not racist. And the deflection of, oh, well, y'all just don't know, or the victims, that's the shit. Boy, I hate that shit. Call them motherfucking victim mentality. No, nigga, you have a racist mentality. Not you, BP, specifically, bro. I'm just talking in general, you know.
Right? It wasn't just black folks. White folks was locking arms with MLK. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just is what it is. Like, so we can get lost in the shuffle of race, which there are things that should be addressed. I think the right gets certain things wrong with some of the racial, but I feel like they get a lot more right than the left at times. Actually, I don't even want to go into that because that's kind of weird.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
As people, not just black people, as actual people, have to start looking at this differently. I don't know why we think that we got to where we got in America by just black power, fight the power, because that's just not how it happened. There's a lot of white folks rocking with us to get here.
It was, and those same white folks were saying black power and fight the power. That's what y'all not understanding, bro. Them same motherfuckers was waving the same flag, saying the same shit, bro. So again, that's a little false, brother.
Here, and we need to start seeing it in a more balanced lens, other than everyone's trying to hold us back. And that just goes for anyone, right? Because this generation, Gen Z, will argue that it's the boomers holding them back. Like, everyone is in this mindset that da-da-da-da. So I'm just saying, it ain't us versus them, dog. I think he knows that. I think, but I got to say it because I heard it, right?
I said I promise I'm only keeping it real. I said I promise I'm only keeping it real. Don't ever give a nigga like this a deal. Man, they racist and it's evident. Last thing, want Jasmine Crockett for president. It's like,
hell no, dog.
We sit here.
Most definitely.
People said Jasmine Crockett, bro. You could have said anyone, huh?
Nah, most definitely.
Nah, dog.
Yeah.
Most. I got a clown a little bit, man.
Nah, most definitely.
Bro. Anyway,
Jasmine Crockett for president,
I'm old
nigga.
School anyway, so that's just a wild take for multiple reasons. But I'm gonna let it rock. This is your art. This is your ideas. Okay, multiple things. What did I want to go into? One, there's PDF files on both sides, dog. Like, I'm just gonna keep it real. And Trump don't get a pass when it comes to the Epstizzle shit. Him not releasing the Epstein files. Like, look, man, we might have some peace in the Middle East coming up. I'm gonna give him his props for the things he's done. Because people act like everything Trump's done is wrong, bro. Like, if you go down, if you really look, like, he's done some stuff where you're like, damn, I got to give him credit. But people won't give him that credit, but I will. But I'm also not giving him a pass for the Epstizzle files, y'all. Like, he's tripping, dog. Like, straight up. And there's other things, because I be going into deep dives, like the giving Palantir the rights to all our AI intelligence and surveillance is wild, bro. So, like, I push back on both parties, even though I rock with the right a little more than the left. This whole racist thing, like, let's talk about it real quick. I think it's a wild take to call Charlie Kirk a racist.
Really?
Just because he's presenting ideas. Like, I don't know if people know this. He had a Black Leadership Summit. Like, he literally had a sect of Turning Point USA that was a Black Leadership Summit. And I've seen Black folks coming out like, yeah, I couldn't afford it. But then Charlie would just reach out to me and be like, oh, we have a scholarship program. Bro, I'm telling y'all, saying racist so loosely is ignorant, bro. Like, it's watering down the term, bro, because we can't act like there's legit neo-Nazis. There's legit, like, KKK dudes. There's legit people who...
Okay, I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that. So, bro said we basically can't keep saying shit is racist. That's racist. Charlie Kirk had a Black summit. He can't be racist. He had a Black summit. Then he went on to say, oh, yeah, because there are real racists like neo-Yazis and the KKK and shit. But here's some funny shit. Did you know that the KKK had toy drives for Black people? Did you know that? So, you know, again, proximity to Black people does not make you not racist. The KKK is arguably one of the most horrible terrorist groups ever in history, and their hatred for Black people and, you know, other races is very, very well documented. So saying Charlie Kirk did this at a Black summit so he can't be racist doesn't mean shit when the KKK had toy drives for Black. You can look it up. They got pictures. KKK sitting right there looking creepy as fuck in a Santa outfit with Black people right next to him. They done got their gifts. That doesn't mean anything, bro. That's not the cure for race, or that's not the antithesis of racism, bro. Racism is not just you or Black, so nigger. Like, that's not just what it is, bro. It's deeper than that. And y'all, I think y'all diminish it when y'all do stuff like that, because that's not even accurate. You got to keep it a buck with that. So yeah, and to say you can't see Charlie Kirk as racist, again, like I said earlier about why are you choosing Black people in all of your examples? For somebody who's not racist, you sure do specifically bring up race a lot. Black people. Talk about what Black people do. Talk about what would happen if you talking about Black people. Like, why are you worried about Black people in the first place? That's what I gotta say. I never understood that. Like, he spent so much time talking about how Black people do this, Black people do this, giving false ass stats. Because when he kept throwing that 13 to 50 out, again, that's for arrests. It's not for murders. That's for arrests, not for convictions. That's for arrests. And then when you add on to the fact that 50% of the exonerated prisoners are niggas, exonerated means they're not guilty. That leads one to believe, why is half of the people that's getting found not guilty, what the fuck did they get arrested for in the first place? Like, it's not that big, it's not that much coincidence in the world. And I know people are more intelligent than this. And I know y'all niggas know. Y'all know it. Just go ahead and say it. Just go ahead and just wake it on up, man. Just wake it on up. Charlie was not a good person. Charlie was a racist. Full-blown racist. Full stop. No stop shit. I don't give a fuck what the fuck the saying is. The nigga is a racist. It just was what it was. Like, we can't sugarcoat the shit just because he died. Like, let's just be real about it.
Think Black folks are inferior, that think other races are inferior. And if Charlie Kirk thought that, one, he wouldn't be a real Christian. Two, he wouldn't have a Black Leadership Summit. You know? There's mad stuff in here I missed.
And again, like I just pointed out, that's false.
He talked about him programming people. I would argue that a more orchestrated, systemic programming tool is Hollywood movies, music, and mainstream media. You know what I'm saying? But this is why people actually listen to podcasts and debate, because they want to break free from actual programming. Also calling Donald Trump a racist. I think Donald Trump's an asshole. I actually think King DOTTA should like Donald Trump. I'm going to tell you why. Maybe not as a politician.
This nigga.
King DOTTA's Donald Trump, bro.
No, this nigga didn't.
I'm gonna say it again. King DOTTA is Donald Trump. Now
This nigga.
Donald Trump.
Wow.
He plays the heel. Even though people love him, he plays a heel. He trolls people. He talks shit.
For y'all that don't know, that's pro wrestling terminology. A heel means a bad guy. I don't think that's what it is. And if we're gonna go to the pro wrestling terminology, if you look at heels versus faces, baby faces, good guys, if you look at that, when people are heels, that's them being the real, keeping it a buck. For good or for bad. The baby faces are the ones that's the holier than thou, the fake ass facade, super nice, good guy, can't do no wrong, Jesus type. Like, that's that. That's not realistic. So the heel shit, I'm cool with. But I mean, you can't say that nigga don't got, didn't this nigga just like tweet some videos of like a black man dressed up like a Mexican or some shit? Didn't he just do that shit? That's some pretty racist shit, bro. Like, what do we call that? Because the point of that video that he created, that we put out, was the race. The race of the person. That's why he dressed it up to look like a race, a specific race. So if that's not racist, then what do we call that? It's not just about the inferiority shit, bro. I think you're pigeonholing yourself, brother. Like,
Donald Trump is a battle rapper.
Blasphemy.
That's what it is, man.
Blasphemy, nigga.
Yo, some people don't. I just see things differently.
That's blasphemy,
so
nigga.
I always thought it was incredible that, King DOTTA might hate Donald Trump. Eminem hates Donald Trump. But there's a parallel between their personas.
Blasphemy.
Crazy. I know that sounds crazy. Then the racist thing, bro. Donald Trump literally donated to Jesse Jackson's first run as president.
Niggas don't give a fuck about no goddamn Jesse Jackson. Niggas ain't had no fucking faith in Jesse. Look, bro, look. And then you know what? I hate that too. People use the worst niggas as a fucking example. Somebody was arguing with me, I think in the comment section of this nigga's video. When this motherfucker talking about he couldn't have been racist. He was friends with Candace Owen. What? She don't even like niggas. What did you talk about? She's an Auntie Ruckus. No self-respecting black people even see her as a black person. Like, it just is what it is. Y'all use the worst examples. Jesse Jackson. Nobody give a fuck about no goddamn Jesse Jackson. The fuck? Keep hope alive. Nigga, what? What are we talking about? Stop it.
Donald Trump's cool with all the black fighters. Like, and I guess people are like, oh, you have a black friend, you can still be racist.
Yeah.
Look, I don't think Donald Trump thinks black folks are inferior. I think
that's not just what racism. He done said it like 4 times. That's absolutely what it is. He pigeonholes himself and his ability to identify racism by only identifying racism by this one thing. Yeah, they look at you like that's not what it is, bro. We got to have this discussion for real. Like, I will have this debate with you.
Donald Trump knows how to get business done, and that's what he tries to do. Do I agree with him politically? Do I give him a pass for the Epstein files? No, right? And some of his politics I agree with. Some of them I don't. But anyways, all this just throwing racists out there so loosely, dog. I'm just telling y'all, and y'all being the people who use it so loosely, hey, man, it's going to water that shit down, man. It's already watered it down.
See this bullshit they be putting out there?
I don't think it's loose. Like I said, there's just more people that's racist. The racist are racist. Like, this is what it is, bro.
All these fake ass statistics, 13%, 16%, 50%, they never get the numbers right.
What is he talking about? The population, black population?
Nah,
goofy ass niggas like.
Nah, I'm talking about the way they the way they say that 13% of the population commits 50% of the crimes. That false ass statistic or something.
Samson out here dick riding. Boy, what? Hey, first of all, my nigga, you ain't even good enough to even put yourself in that type of situation. You caping for a racist while using motherfucking hip-hop as your basis. What? But it's alright though. I got something to clean this bullshit up. This is not a game for me. It's not a joke. All of that bullshit gotta stop. If you ain't ready for what we got, then you gotta get the fuck up out of here. I ain't right. I ain't got nothing to say other than fuck you, nigga.
Damn.
Hey, Samson.
Remember when Trump called Rosie O'Donnell like horse face or something? Like, Donna's doing the same thing, bro. You know, deep down, Donna gotta laugh at some of the shit Trump be doing. He has to, bro.
No, that is an absolute fact. That is a absolute fact. Like he is not lying. I've said it 1,000 times before. Trump does some funny shit. Like Trump does some like some actual like cartoon villainy type shit, like dead ass. Like yeah, I definitely 100% do. Yeah, you are right.
If you can't see the humor in this presidency, there's no hope. There's literally no hope. And I agreed with some of Dotta's take with these UK rappers because hip-hop is an American thing. It's an American culture, but it was birthed because of the way because all of the things that came together in America, right? Like the poor community not having access to piano lessons, guitars and stuff, and they made something out of nothing. So like I agreed with his takes on the UK, but also hip-hop's a part of music, and music is a universal language, right? Everyone had music all over the world before we started making genres of rock, opera, folk music, polka, hip-hop, jazz, you know what I'm saying? And I do think a lot of black folks got exploited, you know? I'm reading these stories as I do these classic rock reactions. Led Zeppelin stole mad music from blues artists and shit, and you're like, what? They didn't get credit for writing that? You know, the
Facts.
homie Frankie Lyman, I was just reading how he got jerked in his...
Yeah, I should watch that movie. I forgot what the fuck it was called. I'll probably put the picture up in here of the cover. But I think what's his name? Lorenz Tate is in the movie. If y'all want to, you know,
record contract, you know, because he was a young black artist. You know, these things are real. I'm not ever going to negate that. But when we talking about this right now and right here, all these people went through this bullshit, so we shouldn't have to go through it now, right? And we don't go through it now in the way they went through it. So holding on to their anguish,
that's right. It's not in the same way. It's not in the same way at all. But it's still happening, you know. That's just what it is, though.
Their pain, as we're living the same pain that our ancestors lived, is crazy. I think they would want us to rise above and get this bag because, bruh, things are shifting. But anyways, on some real spit. Hold on, I didn't even finish the track. I'm gonna let him speak.
What we got, you gotta get the fuck up out of here. I ain't right. I ain't got nothing to say other than fuck you, nigga.
King Dotta's tripping.
Hey, Samson. R.I.P. to George Floyd, nigga. Rest in peace to that. Yeah. B2 on the way.
I think King Dotta, and I'm not trying to I think he actually does feel the way he feels politically and ideologically, but I do think he might be utilizing some of the situation of the Charlie Kirk assassination to you know, play that role even more, right? Anyways, you know, my take is going to be my take. I still feel the same way. I still feel like I'm not here to piss on people's graves. I'm just not going to. Even if I disagree with someone, you know, I try to let it breathe. But hey, man, I'm a hypocrite too, man. I'm a clumsy human. Maybe might, you know, walk some of that back. Like one day y'all see me on here just set tripping, like, yo, dog, da 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 da. Anyways, I still think that was a solid track, though. He put together a song that was solid, right?
Appreciate that shit.
Solid track. He chose to get a laid-back beat, but then have aggressive lyrics and subject matter. He has a good voice, he has good wordplay, and he had some cataclysmic punchlines in there. Did I think Samson focused on his wordplay and internal rhyme schemes way more? Absolutely. So there's going to be an argument here, like I could see someone being like, yo, I like this as a song better. I like Samson's as a verse better. Some people are gonna be like, I like Samson's as a song better. To each his own. That's my what do I always say?
Appreciate hey, I appreciate the nigga even checking the shit out. Yes, sir.
Anyways, you got a real Samson response. Let me know what I got, what I missed. Holler. I know that was long-winded, y'all, but when we get into politics,
My shit even longer, nigga. My bad.
like,
Pause. You know what I'm talking about.
sound bites for shit like this.
City boy!